Alors voilà, donc j'espère que vous allez bien. Donc là on reprend à partir de là. Donc on devait parler j'avais ramené les médicaments, j'ai parlé à la bonne femme. Et maintenant il faut parler à Edgar Swansea. Je crois que c'était déjà lui qu'il fallait que je parle d'ailleurs. On aurait pu me remettre dans l'hôpital, puisque là du coup ils m'ont mis dehors. En même temps c'est peut-être lui Edgar.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof! No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Ok, alors déjà lui c'est pas Edgar, c'est Rakesh Chadana. Alors, nous sommes déjà rencontrés.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality? as a concept.
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
On dirait qu'il veut lui proposer ses services et le rendre comme lui un peu. Hein.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Et maintenant, faisons le
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Alors, tartrate ferreux, codéine, solution, hypochlorite. Alors, d'accord. 15 pièces, 15, 15, 15, toi 15 pièces. Je vais pouvoir m'acheter que 2 choses. Alors. Qu'est-ce qu'il me faudrait moi vraiment? Parce que la bouteille d'alcool c'est bien, bouteille de gin, ça me sert à rien, petite bouteille. Alors, je sais, c'est ce que j'ai déjà. Peut-être pas racheter les mêmes choses. Ça va se mettre 39, je pense que ça va suffire. Du coup, ça j'ai pas. Ça j'ai pas non plus. Ça j'ai pas non plus. Ça peut toujours servir. Et voilà, je suis déjà sur la paille. Alors. Ouais. Il faut que je trouve un petit. Une petite table de travail pour pouvoir. Un petit établi pour pouvoir créer des petites potions. Alors. C'est bien. Voilà. C'est cool. On a fait affaire. Je peux passer aussi. Ah bah non.
I'm sorry you ended up on... My plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation.
J'ai du travail. Ah. Alors, soif de sang, n'oublie pas que le sang des citoyens vous apporte énormément d'expérience. Cherchez les citoyens ayant un niveau de charme inférieur ou chope volontairement une personne, un pas sur l'autre. Tiens, tiens. Auditeur, je peux pas me le faire celui-ci. Il n'y a pas de cœur qui vaille son main en fait. Si, il bouge. Là où il y aurait peut-être un cœur. Ou juste là-bas derrière. Peut-être que... Je sais le passage, hein, bien sûr.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Bonne santé.
I thought last time this epidemic was difficult.
Qualité du sang. Qualité du sang, je vois comment je la ressens.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
On va rediscuter encore.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
J'ai pas le temps. Ce fut un plaisir. Qualité du sang. Oh mince.
You're gonna be fine. We're here for you.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
Rien pas wasted. Comment je peux récupérer du sang?
But the suffering continues.
Peut-être et puis le boire après, on va pas faire ça à la barbare. Je peux peut-être faire ça correctement aussi.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Je me sers, hein.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings in the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
you will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skald?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
How do Skalds come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
On peut y aller maintenant, ouais. Alors un coup on a de l'action, un coup c'est long, faut parler.
It's locked.
C'est toujours fermé, bon allez. Faut que j'aille parler à la mécène de l'hôpital. Aussi, découvrir qui espionne. Tellement. Je pense que... Faut que je descende là-bas.
It's locked.
Ok, longue lettre. Longue lettre. Sa petite lettre, allez. Nouvel indice, d'accord. Ok. Se reposer pour évoluer. Du coup, j'allais me trouver un lit. Je vais me trouver un gentil lit qui veut bien de moi.
I'm sorry you ended up with
Pour pouvoir
complaint and
évoluer
called
quand
medical
même.
bench, sir. I
Faut-il
understand
encore
you to be
trouver un
very
lit?
angry about this unfair situation.
Je vais en trouver.
I managed to arrange.
Il me semble que là-haut, je pouvais dormir.
They have discussed every string.
Je ne sais pas de quel côté. Alors déjà, on va passer. Hop. Reste où je viens. Et moi, c'était là-bas. Tant qu'à faire, je me sers. C'est sur le chemin. On va se reposer un peu. Mon lit m'attend. On va dire donc c'est ouvert ici. D'accord. Ouais, on se repose et après on repart. Ah oui, je dois tuer des citoyens pour me remettre. Ok, pour me remettre bien, mais si j'en tue trop, le quartier va devenir instable. Donc en fait, je pourrais le quartier. Donc, ouais, c'est pas terrible quoi. On est satisfaisant pour l'instant. Parce que j'ai encore bouffé personne. C'est bien, souci.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Elle a besoin d'eau, mais j'ai toujours pas d'eau. Je peux toujours rien faire. Je suis pas près de la réhydrater. Ah, compte établi. Donc, je peux rien faire, ok. Si je peux. On va se refaire ça, là. Non, j'en ai plus assez. J'ai plus assez, tant pis. Alors.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
You are aware that I too know the thirst for the scarlet nectar.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition. Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed?
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
Bon, elle m'en dira pas plus.
The patients are not fools.
Damn. The pain.
Simpletons, these nurses.
Here again.
Bred with no respect. What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Et c'est tout.
Miss Jones, greetings. How do we feel?
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
Now, I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well, if you really must.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof! Without a trace.
I'll come and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones.
Here again.
Time has lost its too much, but the suffering continues.
Feel disgust on every street.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
I wonder why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed?
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Okay.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End. And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Is this supposed to be an hospital? A pigsty would smell better.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
You are going to reveal all your secrets to me, even the darkest.
Please, every last one of them.
My blood and soul,
C'est parce qu'elle est cette
they belong to you now.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Forcément à l'hôpital, ça peut être à l'étage.
Every street corner. Daily routine.
Apparemment pas.
I cannot enter.
Elle est juste en bas. Tout en bas.
time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
Damn.
Good evening, Miss Houcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Has lost its effect on me.
Daily routine.
But the suffering continues.
All liars and thieves!
The pain. It's there again.
Someone's poached my blanket.
Good evening, sir. Doctor. I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Branago aussi, il faut que je la trouve.
I will not let you down, my boy. My sweet girl. Read me.
again.
If only I were young again. Just a dozen years.
Je parle aussi.
Still standing after this up.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening,
La
Doctor.
dernière. Et vu que j'ai trouvé, on va s'arrêter là d'ailleurs. Je pense que c'est bien, on a bien parlé, donc je m'arrête là et on prendra la prochaine fois. Voilà, donc encore une fois, allez aimer la vidéo, n'hésitez pas à me suivre et à vous abonner pour continuer à être au courant de la mise en ligne de mes vidéos. Très bonne soirée.